Hi friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. Today I have a tutorial on how to mount a Staghorn Fern onto a piece of wood, or in my case, this wooden tray. And I have had this fern for a little while, waiting till I had all of the pieces together to do this, and today is the day. So if you're interested in seeing how I did this, stay tuned and we'll get to it. Okay, so we have the camera turned down now so you can see what I'm doing. And let me go over the supplies that I'm going to be using here. First of all, I have my Staghorn Fern that I've had now probably for about 2 or 3 months, just kind of waiting to get all the supplies together. The soil is pretty dry right now, and I did that on purpose as far as making sure that you know, it would be easy to take the soil off of the roots as opposed to when it was very wet. Now, there is a way to hang this, and you can kind of tell that the plant is growing this way. In the wild, these are epiphytes. They grow on trees, and the new growth happens at the top of the plant, okay? So you can see right here, some new growth coming in there, and it's starting at the top. It's got some shields already on it. It's got another shield, a real tiny one coming in there, some more new fronds coming in there. And so I am going to mount it with this at the top, this at the bottom. Looking to see where the new growth is coming from is a good way for you to determine what is up and what is down for the plant. You want to mount it in its natural growing pattern. So for this one, it's kind of easy because everything's growing this way. But if you had one that was kind of all over, you can see where the growth is happening, and that will determine your top portion. Okay, so I have my Staghorn Fern. I have my wood that I'm going to use. This is the tray that I thrifted not too long ago, and I thought at first that this was bamboo. When I shared my thrift haul with you, I got a lot of responses that this is actually called, I hope I can remember the correct name now, I'll put it on the screen here, monkey pod wood. And it is very popular in Hawaii. They made a lot of trays like this as tourist things that they sold. And this is actually something straight out of the 70s, and I actually looked these up online on eBay. I bought this for $2, and they were selling very similar size and patterned trays on eBay for $25. So I thought I got a really good deal. Made me think twice about using it, but I am going to go ahead and use it. I've got some nails here that I'm going to use to hold the fern, along with the twine that I'm going to use. Now I do need to put something on the back to put it on the wall. I've got these little eye hole or D-rings, I think they may be called, and some wire that I'm going to use. This is all out of a little picture hanging kit that I got at Walmart, I think, that I have on hand. I am going to use this natural twine instead of nylon fishing line. I just wanted a more natural look to it. So I am going to use this twine that I already had on hand, so I don't have to go out and buy fishing line. And then what I'm going to use is I have a lot of Sphagnum Moss on hand, so I wet this batch up, and I'm going to use this to surround the roots of the fern. I think I'm also going to add to the roots some very chunky mix soil, probably my Delatanks soil, because this soil here is very, very fluffy, and I want something chunkier for it. Okay, so the first thing I think I'm going to do, and I may fast forward this as I do the nails and such, because you don't really need to hear the banging or watch me hammer nails. Okay, so I am gonna do this side first and then add the eyelets here for hanging, because it'll be easier that way. So I've added one, and I've got 4 here, or 5, and I'm just going to position them around the tray, giving me options as far as how I can tie the fern down. Now obviously I am not going to hammer them all the way through because they would come out the other end. So, and I also need some height to be able to reach the nails with the twine. So I'm going to flip it over, and a lot of people said that I should hang it diagonally like this in a diamond shape. And I had already started a hole here, so I am going to do that. Got both of them on there, and this is just some wire that came in the picture hanging kit. I've just cut a little piece, and I'm just going to thread it on one side and twist it, and then thread it to the other side and twist it over. Very easy. You can use also the little saw ones, you know, it's a little bracket and it's a little saw, but the nails, I'll be honest with you, the nails were so teeny tiny, I just could not hold on to them. So I decided to go this route. And this is how what I would use when I was doing my own canvases and hanging wire on them. This is the method I would use. So now I have something to hang it on, like that. I'm going to set this aside because now we're going to work on the fern. Okay, so I've got my little bucket here to catch the old soil, and should come out very easily. I don't suspect that this will have lots of roots on it. These tend to not have a ton of roots. This is very peat moss like soil, or coir soil, and you see how it's just crumbling off? That is because I've let it dry, so it would come off easily. I want to try and expose the roots as much as possible. Like I said, I want to try and add a real chunky mix to the roots before I surround them with moss. Okay, so I got as much off of it as possible, as you can see there. And then looking at this soil, this is something I can reuse in something else, you know, that I like to reuse and revitalize my soil. I don't see really any roots that I've broken off. One of the things that you can use, I've got this brush here with the bristles are a little bit more hard. They're not super soft, and so I used it just to flake off some of that soil. That's another easy way to get the soil off without damaging the roots. Okay, so let me set this aside, and I'm going to get some of my good chunky mix ready, and we'll start mounting it, okay? Okay, so I added some of my chunkier mix. This is, it's right up here above the moss. This is the Delatanks soil mix for houseplants. Very chunky. It already has fertilizer in it, and I use this for a lot of my aeroids. So I'm going to use that. And first I'm going to, it's top heavy now. First I'm going to lay down a layer of moss against this tray, kind of give it a bed to be on. And I've made sure that I've got it the right way. Okay, now I'm going to take the root ball, and I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to separate the roots out. Oh, actually it goes this way, doesn't it? Because the hanger's up here. I want it this way, so yeah. Let me turn it around then. God, heaven forbid if I hang this thing upside down. That would not make for a good video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit down at the bottom of the soil mix, and then I'm going to add some around it. That's not staying on. I hope this doesn't look like I don't know what I'm doing. In my head, I knew exactly what I was gonna do. So what I just did, friends, is I moistened the soil because it wouldn't pack on, obviously, because it was dry. It was just tumbling right off. So I moistened the soil so it would stay on. Then I'm taking where I put that soil and packing on the moss. This is a messy project, friends. Messy, messy. So do it in an area that you don't mind it getting messy, or your hands messy, or wear gloves. Add some soil, pack on the moss. It's almost like you're making a kokodama ball, which you could do with this. You could make this fern into an actual kokodama ball, but I wanted to hang it this way. Get under here. And as you pack the moss, you're going to kind of try and shape it. This is why it helps to have the moss not dripping, soaking wet, but very moist where it will mold. I'm going to go through and see where I have patches missing moss and put some on there. I'm going to make sure that my nails are visible where I can run the twine through. Just with the cup of your hand, put it together. Oh, my back. Okay. Time to strap this baby in. So I'm going to make a loop, tie a loop at the top here. My nails look terrible. I've got dirt under them. This is why I never go get a manicure. So I've got my little loop, and I'm going to find my top nail here and attach it to that. Wrap it around a couple of times and make sure it's tight. And then I'm going to go across first, keeping it very taut, very tight. Find my bottom nail, go across it or wrap it around a couple of times. Come over, keeping it taut. Find the nail on this side, and that's how you tie it down. You just secure it, wrapping the twine or the whatever you choose to use, the nylon. Oh lordy. Okay, so I'm on the kind of the last go-arounds, and one thing that once you get to this point where you think that you've got it pretty secure and you've gone around every way you can, you'll notice that the nylon or the twine or whatever it is you're using will start getting packed up to the top of the nail. Push that down. That's again why you need enough room on your nail. Push it down so you can have the room to add another secure line there. Now this plant I do spritz with water because you know, it likes the humidity in the room. So I do spritz, and I'll continue doing that. Scissors. So now I've got it all secured. I've tied a knot here, lift it up, and then I've got my brush, and I'm just going to take off some of the bits and pieces of moss on the tray, on the plant, and there's our mounted Staghorn Fern. It took some doing, I'll tell you. It's not a quick and easy project, but I'm really loving the way it looks. And it's secure in the back here. Hopefully everything will stay in place. I'm gonna hang it up and show you what it looks like on the wall. Okay, so here's my wall, my prints, my Maranta, red Maranta, and this is where I put her. She's hanging on a nail. Hopefully she'll stay up there, but you can see some of the nails on the tray that I had hammered in. And the soil and the moss that she's on is nice and moist, so she's getting some water. I'll give her some more water later on in the week. I'll keep an eye on the moss to see how it's drying out and letting me know if it needs water, but I will spritz it during the day to keep it happy. I'm really liking the way that it looks, this wall here, with my artwork and my little collectibles, mirror, prints. Now I've got a couple of plants there, which is exactly my thought when I was dreaming up this wall of what I was going to do with it. This is pretty much what I envision, is to have some hanging plants very natural look to it with the macrame and the monkey pod wood tray. I didn't necessarily think of that, but I knew I wanted a tray of some kind. So I do still have room to add more hanging plants, which is going to be my plan, maybe over there in the corner. And this plant here gets medium light from the window and from the grow lights that are here in the plant room, and also plenty of humidity from the humidifier that's in here. And I'm really loving the way that she looks. If you enjoyed this video, friends, please do give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of my project here. You know, a little bit more work than I anticipated, but if you take your time with it and not try to rush it, it will come out great. I used a tray. You can use any piece of wood, even a cutting board you can use. But just remember some of those tips that I gave you as far as the nails and how to wrap them. Okay? Thanks so much, friends. I appreciate you so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already to get more videos like this. I will see you in the next one. Have a blessed day, friends. Bye-bye.